Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. Once you've completed your music theory and practice workbook, past exam papers are an excellent revision resource. I've worked with you through all of the papers from 2014 to 2018 and now I'm thrilled to be able to bring 2019 to you as well. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there which links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I've written. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best be prepared for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated, and please do share out the videos. And now we're going to continue and we're going to finish off 2019 Grade 5 Paper A, and we're going to start off with question 6. So if you turn with me to page 9 in your practice paper booklet, we can make a start on this together. So here again we have a little extract of music, and the first job we've been asked to do is to mark in where the change of time signature occurs at bar 2. So we start off in 4/8, 4 quaver beats, 4 eighth notes per bar, but then it changes here, so we need to figure out what time this is. And so here we can see that at a quick glance you can kind of guess that it's going to be an irregular time, because although this is a group of 3, this one isn't. And so let's just work out what we've got here. We've got a quaver beat here. The dot after the note is worth a semiquaver. So we've got a quaver, an 8th note and a 16th note. And then these two demi-semiquavers, these two 32nd notes, added together give us a semiquaver, which together, if we just add the dot and these two demi-semis, that's a quaver. So we have 1, 2 quaver beats here, and we have 3 quaver beats here. So we can only put the bottom note as number 8, nothing else will fit. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 8. So there we go, that's that done. The next question is some performance direction terms. Now don't forget, these come in terms of an accumulation of everything from grades 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 could be drawn upon. So there's a lot of revision here. And if you look in the back of the PDF documents from grades 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, I've given you some revision tips, and also I've given you some little tests to test yourself. And so here we have tenerezza, which is tenderness or tenderly. So it's with tenderness there. Ad lib, that means you can kind of, do it your own way, stretch it about a bit, play it your own sort of interpretation. So literally that would be at choice. Now here, a stinto, that is sort of a dynamic term, as soft as you possibly can. And so you can see we've had a diminuendo, it's always getting quiet, so this is just as quiet as you can possibly manage to play it. There we go, so that's that done. Now just looking back at the score, we need to look what the shortest note in the extract is and give that its proper time name. So straight away we've got some demi-semiquavers, 32nd notes, that's the 8th of a crotchet beat. Is there anything else? We've got 3 beams here. Doesn't get any shorter than that, so it's that. So we could say demi-semiquaver. Or alternative, depending upon which terminology you use, you could call it a 32nd note. Either of those is accurate, just depends what you're used to saying. So we need to name what the ornament in bar 1 is. So here we've got played out. You can see it's a quick down and back again, and it's a mordant. More specifically, it's a lower mordant. That's that. And so now we need to rewrite the last note of bar 3. Here it's marked. So watch out, we're in bass clef here. And we need to make sure it's exactly the same pitch. So be careful we don't jump octaves, but now we need to use the tenor clef. And so the time signature, the key signature is going to change there. So the tenor clef is where middle C is here, that second line down. So we have kind of a double bar line high up. You can do this clef any sort of way, so long as you show that it's centered around that line there. And so let's have a look at the key signature. We're in 2 sharps, so we need to reallocate those sharps appropriate to the key signature. So C, B, A, G, F, we have to go low for that F. And then the C sharp is there where the clef is based. And so let's see what note it is that we're writing. And so here, if we think this is middle C, yeah, that's middle C, that's right, we're in bass clef, and that's C, D, E above middle C. So if we think this is middle C, and so C, D, E is here, so we've got exactly the right pitch, we're not out by an octave. And then of course that's a semiquaver or a 16th note, so we will show that also. So it's exactly the same note, just written in a tenor clef. And so let's turn the page over and we can finish this last question. And I always say this, but I think this is just an absolute dream of a last question. It's a really nice, calm, relaxing way to finish a paper. This is one of my favourite easy questions. And we're asked to allocate chords appropriate to the notes that we've been given, but they must also be appropriate for cadence points. And so we have to know what our perfect and imperfect and plagal cadences are. So just a little bit of revision there if you need it from your music theory and practice workbook. And then what I suggest you do, let's get all of the thinking done straight away. We're looking for chords 1, 2, 4 and 5. Our first job is to figure out what key we're in. We're in G major, we've got F sharps, nothing else. So chord 1 is going to be based on G. If you find it hard figuring all that out, just refer to a sketch of a piano keyboard. It's worth taking a couple of minutes before you start a paper, and then you've got this visual aid. Even if you don't play piano, it's helpful. So chord 2 is going to be on an A. 4 begins on a C and 5 begins on a D, and then we need to pick out our first, third, fifth, G, B, D, A, C, E, C, E, G is chord 4, and chord 5 is D, F, A. Of course it's F sharp, but your key signature will deal with that. And as a last double check, there's your 1, 3, 5. So chord 1, the last note is a 5, which should be the basis for the bottom of your chord 5. So you can tell if you've gone wrong just by that little double check there. And so now we've got to determine which are the harmony notes and which are sort of non-essential passing notes, just passing through in between, just filling in the gap in step. So we have an A, a B, C, E. That B isn't part of the chord, it's just a passing note, so all we have is the A, C, E, and so chord 2 nicely answers that. Again, we have a passing note here, just passing through by step, so the harmony notes are F, F sharp of course, A, F sharp, and so chord 5 answers that, even though it's not fully represented. And then we find we've got a G and a B, chord 1, classic perfect cadence there. And so here we have an E, a C and a G. That's chord 4. And then our final one, we have a D and an F sharp of course, so that's chord 5. So we're left hanging at the very end of the paper with an imperfect cadence. However, even though this doesn't sound finished, we have definitely finished paper A. That's the last question completed. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope it's helpful to your studies. If you can give me a like, that would be really, really super. And please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that is available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.